Hello, my name is Mihir. I'm the author of the book Existential Digital Marketing, and I'm also the pioneer of philosophical marketing. Today, I'm here to give you a brief introduction on philosophical marketing and what it is exactly. So, let's start. So, philosophical marketing, what is it? Now, when you combine two different fields of knowledge like philosophy and marketing, it is very common to get a lot of misconceptions. So it's good to clear it out at the beginning. So philosophical marketing is not a marketing philosophy, like what a particular marketing philosophy stands for, or it is neither something called as a philosophy of marketing, like what does it mean to do marketing, or what does it mean to do a certain activity under marketing. It's not none of those. So what it is exactly is something which enables us marketers to think about marketing. We'll get more clarity as we go along. So let me start from what philosophy is. So, philosophy. Let's first talk about this thing called as philosophy. What is it? Now, a lot of people, you might have heard this like term a lot, I'm sure, and there are a lot of different ideas under philosophy. There are a lot of different philosophies. Every religion has philosophy. Every brands themselves have a philosophy, and philosophy has, like, every movie has a philosophy. A lot of books have their own philosophy. So what philosophy stands for actually is something uh, like this term came about from the ancient Greek times, right? So let's just understand what it the definition of this term means. Philo means love, and Sophia means wisdom. So philosophy actually stands for a love for wisdom. So philosophy, what it deals with is it deals with like all kinds of knowledge. It's actually primarily a study of knowledge. What are the different ideas, and what are different streams of thought that go around. Those all come under philosophy, yes. But philosophy in general is fundamentally about the study of knowledge. There are various branches under philosophy, or epistemology, or ethics, or metaphysics, and so on. But what philosophy does is it actually opens your mind, I would say, to what are the different ways of thinking, and what does it mean to actually think, or what does it actually mean to know something. Like, what are the limits of knowledge, or uh, do you how can you be really sure of that you know something, so philosophy deals with a lot of questions, I would say. So philosophy is all about questions, and there are different answers based on different geographies and cultures, and where go on. Like, say if I asked you a very basic question, like, what is the meaning of life? Now, depending on where you are in the world and what you have experienced in your life, you're going to give a very different answer. Depending on your belief, you're going to give a very different answer. Depending on your current reality, you're going to give a very different answer. So, and this thing has happened over the years, ever since, like, we humans started wondering about what does it mean to exist, and ever since we started becoming conscious of our own existence, we've asked these questions and many more questions that fall come after those, right down to the practical questions of the world, like, the so philosophy is something which is like parent umbrella of knowledge, and every other branch of knowledge has come from it. So even science, the branch of science, has come from philosophy. Earlier it was called natural philosophy in the ancient times, and over the last 400 500 years it's become its entire branch in itself. And similarly, the social philosophy became like social sciences, and like politics, economics, and all everything uh, eventually branched out from the parent umbrella of philosophy. So philosophy, that's what it is. It's all about knowledge. It's all about wisdom. It's all about the pursuit of knowledge. Now, why are we connecting philosophy to marketing? Let's talk a bit about that. So, in my experience and in my research and study about marketing, what I found was there are a lot of practical guides, okay, or practical solutions, or practical strategies on how to do marketing, how to do effective marketing. And in this time of digital marketing, there is a lot of sources available online, you know, on how to do digital marketing, and there are lots and lots of things going on. But what the gap I found was nobody is really talking about what, like, how are we thinking about doing marketing? Like, what is the core beliefs and ideas that pushes us to do marketing. Yes, we learn about how what are the beliefs we can project on a brand, or we can have, okay, a company or brand stands for these ideas, and okay, fine. But then what about us marketers who actually go and do these marketing on a day-to-day basis? What I've really found missing was there was a lack of clarity, or even like a curiosity on how to do these marketing activities. What is a uh, fundamental base upon which we are basing all our marketing activities? What do we stand for, or what does our brands stand for? You know, and so there's one thing about, like, projecting your own ideas onto your brands, and there's a completely different thing about developing a brand's own unique, authentic identity. So all these questions led me to path of figuring out something called as the philosophical marketing that we are discussing right now. Okay, so when you talk about marketing, there are various concepts. Okay, let me just briefly touch you about that. So primarily, you'll read a lot of books on marketing, and which there are a lot of different authors who have written great books on it. But the central idea of marketing remains, more and less the same. I'll just briefly talk about some of the important ones. So first, there's, okay, you have to do a research on who your audience is. Okay, and you have to target, you have to segment the demographic into a particular section of audience that you want to target, and then you have to figure out the targeting parameters. Okay, what is this audience like, what do they do, what are the you have to know them as clearly as possible. You create a user persona, and then you figure out the positioning of, okay, what do you as a company or brand, or what does the offering stand for, and what does it what is the unique positioning that you are aiming to capture in the audience's mind. Okay, you start out with these elementary things, and then you figure out what is it that you're offering. Okay, so marketing is essentially about creating an offering, okay, communicating that offering to a section of the audience, and capturing value in return. It's about creating value and capturing value. Okay, and everything that goes on in between is comes under marketing. So uh, that is okay, essentially what marketing is. You create something that you figure out first, like what people want, what people could want in the future, and what people would be willing to, like, pay, to get, and how much are they willing to pay, and all those questions you answer. And then what comes is like the execution. Then you go about testing those things in the market. First, you develop a prototype, okay, or a minimum viable product, and you test a basic model of your idea and see if it has a potential in the market, or if it has like a demand. Okay, once you figure out that out, then you, okay, if it doesn't work out, then you go back to your drawing board and come up with something new. If it works out, then you develop it even more, and then you polish it, and make it in a finished product, and then you put it out in the market. And this could be a product, a service, or, like, a lot of different things. There are combinations that go around in today's market. So you go about executing these marketing ideas, okay, and then you focus on the getting sales and getting the results out of these marketing activities and the return of investment. Okay, all of those things are follow suit. And once you figure it out, what a process where okay, you created something, okay, and then you figure out who you going to sell it to, then you can successfully sell it to them, and then you make sure that they are satisfied with that product, so they'll recommend other people and come back to your offering and purchase again. So marketing funnel for becomes like 4 stages. It's called a funnel because it goes from top to bottom, and the size of the people keeps on decreasing. Okay, the first stage is the awareness stage. Second is the consideration. Third is the purchase, and the fourth is delight. Okay, and this keeps on going. This is the journey of an ideal customer. Now, so that is all. Okay. So what happens is when you are doing these marketing and activity, your focus is all about you know getting the sales, or getting the brand recognition, and all those practical, I would say, the practical things in the world that are important, to get the numbers and to pay your bills, obviously. So Uh, what philosophical marketing is it's actually about going one step behind, okay, and understanding why is it that you do certain things, okay, in certain way. And it's not about reinventing the wheel. It's about understanding the process of the wheel. Okay, so it's about why does the wheel function the way it functions. That's I think how I would like to put it. Okay, so since this is a basic introduction, I will just talk to you about briefly about what it is. Of course, to go into the detail of this, I would require a much larger scope and a larger canvas. So I'll get to that in the future. But right now, for this video, let me just quickly tell you uh, about philosophy. So, what philosophical marketing aims at is taking some key philosophical some key philosophers from, like, say, the various traditions in schools of philosophy, and trying to project their ideas onto marketing and see if they fit. Okay, so I'll be talking about philosophers like Immanuel Kant. Then I'll be talking about. So I've already written a book on existential schools of philosophy and marketing. It's called Existential Digital Marketing, which focuses on combining existentialisms and digital marketing. So yeah, those philosophers really seem to fit in this idea. And then there's the father of modern philosophy, of modern Western philosophy, Rene Descartes. And there are some other like um, I would say some other free thinkers and thought leaders, the original thought leaders, like Socrates and various other modern Western philosophy thinkers. Okay, so uh, when you talk about ideas and movements, there's essentially okay. So like I said, every geographical region had come up with its own philosophy over time. Like, say we have in India, there's like we have a whole tradition. There's a very rich tradition of a lot of different schools of philosophy. Okay, like Buddhism, Jainism, and okay, the Charvakas, and Vedantins, and many others. And so similarly in the West, it's all like started from ancient Greece. We have ancient Greek thinkers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, and it moves on to the medieval philosophy, which is primarily a Christian philosophy because of the 1,000-year rule, that the church had. And then after that, we have the birth of the, like movements like Renaissance and modern Western philosophy. Okay, and then we come to the 18th century, 19th century, and the 20th century, where, and I mean, these ideas you would find more relatable compared to the ancient ones. I mean, I've personally found them to be more closer to where I can relate to. Okay, and so similarly, there are other philosophies also, like other Asian countries have their own philosophies. Africa has its own philosophy and stuff. So I would move about into philosophical marketing with the limited knowledge, I would say, about thinkers I have studied the last few years. Of course, the knowledge as it is, it's like it's a never end. It's a quicksand. You the more deeper you go into it, the more you see, okay, how much there is more to go to it, to go into it, and there is no end to it. And that's the beauty of knowledge. Like, once you start knowing more and more things, you realize, oh, you don't know, you don't really know anything compared to what all is there in the world to know, and that itself is nothing compared to what all is there that we don't even know yet. So knowledge is that's why philosophy is like a love for wisdom. It's a pursuit of constant pursuit of knowledge, and the questions that we have, those are the only constant. You know, those are the only ones that stay constant over time. The answers, like, they keep changing. Like, right now, what we the answers that we give to the questions like, what is the meaning of our lives, it's going to be completely, not completely, but it's going to be definitely different than what people would give in compared in, like, say, 200 years from now, 300 years from now. And those answers that we give today are different than what came about, say, 1,000 years ago, or like even say 200-300 years ago. So, those are the various ideas and movements in philosophy that we will discuss. Okay, now, when we talk about brands, uh, there is one thing I think I will talk about: Immanuel Kant's philosophy of an end in itself and a means to an end. So, when I talk about a brand, I mean, this is what we all marketers do. We treat brands as a means to an end, right? We treat them as something that is uh, like something that we are selling a product or service or something to the audience, and it's packaged in a brand. Okay, and we need a brand name or a brand identity or a brand logo, for that packaging and for that covering of that offering that we are providing to our customers. But what this philosophical marketing approach will do is it will treat a brand as an end in itself, as an independent being with its own identity, like truly with its own identity and a meaning to its life, and like an existence of its own. Like how I would treat you, the one who's listening to me right now. I would treat you as. So this is what Immanuel Kant says. Like, humanity should never treat other humans as a means to an end. We should always treat others as an end in itself. Like, if I treated you as a, okay, I want to say get some sales out of you, for example, then I would treat you as like, okay, you're a means to an end. Okay, you're just a wallet to me. I just have to extract money out of you. That's treating your customers as a means to an end. And a lot of marketers do this on a daily basis. We don't do it openly, but this is what the approach is like. It's all about numbers. It's all about getting the sales. So this is something that we need to get out of. So we need to treat people as an end in itself, and we need to first also treat the brand that we are working for as an end in itself, with its own existence, with its own identity, and that only then will we be able to develop an authentic marketing strategy for the brand. That's what lies at the heart of this this idea of philosophical marketing. We discussed this. So, brands as an end in itself and not as a means to an end. And once you do that, then you have to understand what is the meaning of its life. So when you start answering these questions, right? Say, what is the meaning of this brand's life? Uh, Say if I asked you what is the meaning of your life, how I'm not concerned right now about what the answer is. Whatever the answer is, what is it based on? Right, so it's based on everything that you have experienced so far, right? You develop a story in your head. Okay, I am this person. This is what I've been through in life. This is what I want to achieve in the future. But or even that the future is based on the past and the present. Okay, so similarly, what brands the meaning of a brand's life is something that is defined on the brand's existence, like ever since it was an idea in the founder's mind, and it was a startup and it grew. And what was the brand's journey, you know, from the like scratch, and how it came about to be. That is what is the data and the material that we'll use to develop a meaning to its life. Now, when you talk about meaning to a brand, like what it currently is done is like you figure out what is the best possible meaning that you can give, right? What is the meaning that the audience will connect with, you know? What is the meaning that the founders want it to be like, or what is okay? And a lot of time, what happens is people who are working behind that logo, okay, their own personality gets projected on the brand, and this is very common. People don't even realize it, but this is what happens. So when I'm working day to day on a brand and I'm communicating on Twitter, on Instagram, and replying to people every day, it's if I'm not careful, it's gonna be like my personality combined with what I think the brand's personality is, combined with what my boss thinks of the brand's personality, and it's all comes like becomes that khichdi, I would say, and then it comes out to the audience. And it would be fine if you're thinking about if you are the one who's taking that charge of, okay, this I am going to be responsible for communicating on this brand's behalf for the rest of its life. Okay, nobody can do that. You have employees come, employees go. Founders also change over time, and also nobody is going to be like, okay, I can live this brand properly for the rest of its life. So when you do that, then what happens is when the next person comes who talks about from the brand's perspective, he's gonna do he or she is gonna do the same khichdi, and the result is gonna be like this, it's something different. So the brand identity doesn't remain consistent over time. And this is very true in the digital marketing scenario, because it's like traditional marketing may you do something, and you say you create a print or OH or TV ad, and it's like the time difference is like quite a large, okay, quite a lot. You don't have to be real time, but in digital marketing you have to be real time. You have to consistently message and reply and engage with the audience, and all those things are going on. So it's going to be very tricky if you don't understand the brand's true meaning of its life. If you don't develop the brand's meaning of its life from its own experiences, from its own data points, from its own failures and successes and what it's been through. So it's very important to understand a brand as an end in itself, and then come up with an authentic meaning to its life by thinking of it from its own perspective. Okay, so that's all about what I wanted to discuss in this video. What philosophical marketing is. I hope you have some if you have some clarity. I would say it's difficult to understand completely, because for me, even I'm yet to define properly define and properly bring out those ideas. And it's going to take some time. It's going to take the coming year. So this is where I wanted to just put foot out this skeleton. Okay, so with time I'll be putting out more videos and with more depth and more clarity. So that's the plan. So philosophical marketing in one sentence, if I have to describe it, it would be like it's about thinking about marketing. It's not just about doing marketing. It's not just about doing coming up with a strategy, or coming up with even a philosophy of a brand. Okay, what does this brand stand for? No, it's about thinking about marketing. That's what philosophical marketing is. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. I hope you found some interesting uh, questions in your mind, after watching this video. That's the most I can hope for right now. So I'll see you again soon, and thanks for watching this video.